Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the beginning of the week. I think it's the 6th week, is it beginning of the 6th week in lockdown. Today I wanted to jump on and talk about a little bit about being mindful and really to share some habits and some real bite-sized activities to help manage our kind of worrying thoughts, particularly when we're going through these times of uncertainty, when our anxiety can show up. So today I wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about mindfulness and how it can support us in managing anxiety. And firstly, what I came across before the bite-size activities and habits, I wanted to share a technique I came across to help us manage our anxiety. And it's called the APPLE technique. And this is something that we can practice, which encourages us and you to acknowledge, pause, pull back, let go and explore. So the first one is acknowledge. So it's about noticing and acknowledging the uncertainty as it comes up for us, as it comes to mind. Then the second one is around, pausing, just taking time out to pause, not to react as we normally might, but actually not to react at all, and just to pause and breathe. The third one, P, is for pulling back. So to tell ourselves, or to tell yourself, this is just the worry talking. And this apparent need for certainty is not helpful and not necessary. It's only a thought or a feeling, so not to believe everything that we think. And thoughts are not statements or facts. L is for letting go of APPLE. Let go of the thought or feeling, because it will pass. Remember to affirm to ourselves, I acknowledge this feeling and it will pass. And you don't have to respond to them. You might imagine them sort of floating away on a cloud or in a bubble. And the final E is for explore. So really to explore the present moment, because right now, in the moment, all is well. Notice your breathing and then sensations of your breathing, and noticing the ground beneath you, remembering those grounding techniques that I spoke about before, and looking around and noticing what you see, what you can hear, what you can touch, what you can smell, just right now in this moment. And then maybe shifting your focus or attention to something else and what you need to do, and what you were doing before you noticed the worry. Or do something different, something else, mindfully with your full attention. So how can we be mindful to be in the present rather than those unhelpful thinking styles, projecting ourselves into the future where we can catastrophize, sort of blowing everything out of proportion to an unrealistic level of future predicting? Or future predicting, so worrying excessively about imagined outcomes and futures not based on facts. So there's 6 techniques I wanted to talk about today, obviously not forgetting our mindful, breathing, our belly breathing as well. And I found these kind of recently about sort of blissful, mindful activities. And the first one is about mindful eating. So kind of imagining, or actually doing it, imagine that you are actually having a sort of piece of chocolate or a raisin. And firstly, to slow down and to look at it, to feel the raisin or the chocolate between your fingers. How does it feel? Smell it, put it on your tongue, sort of the texture, that sort of savour it. What does it feel like to kind of bite into it? Are there any other flavours? Does it taste differently when you slow down and pay attention? And then to swallow that raisin or that piece of chocolate and see what flavour lingers. And just to consider whether this experience was different to how you might usually eat, because sometimes we're always on the go. It's kind of we eat without actually taking in the sort of flavours, the smell, the textures. The second one is mindful listening. So just taking a moment to sit down, close your eyes, and to listen carefully and be still, and just to pick up on the noises that you might hear around you. It could be the sound of a clock, it could be an appliance humming, it could be ears buzzing, it could be a roof creaking, and just kind of focus in on how many noises that you can notice in a given minute. And then just to consider, how does focus your attention like this feel? The next one is about thinking about a happy memory. So really when we're in that sort of place of uncertainty, anxiety, is just to close our eyes and to remember a time when we felt happy. It maybe was when someone was kind to you, when you got a smile from a friend, or when you were kind of around your pet, if you have one. And just simply close your eyes and bring that to mind. And just kind of tune into any kind of sensations, kind of any emotions you were feeling at the time. And just noticing how you felt when you remember that memory. The fourth one is about sending kind thoughts. So closing your eyes and bringing someone you really like to mind and imagining them happy and smiling at you. And say to them, may you be healthy and strong, maybe you happy, maybe you be peaceful. And notice how your mind and your heart feel when you do this. Notice how your body feels. Now try a sort of self-hug and send kind thoughts to yourself. And maybe those affirmations to yourself as well, to say, may I be healthy, may I be strong, may I be happy, may I be peaceful. Just think about how that makes you feel. The fifth one for me is to go to bed smiling. So next time you go to sleep, think about the things that you're grateful for, maybe 5 things, and do that towards the end of the day, and just having that sort of moment of gratitude. And you can try this out pretty much any time, not just when you go to sleep, but just kind of feel into that and that gratitude and how it makes you feel. And then the sixth one is to fill an ideas jar. So just giving some thought whilst we are in lockdown to the best ways for you to feel calm and relaxed. So just popping some ideas into a jar. It might be yoga stretches, it might be doing some exercise, it might be some sort of virtual contact with family and friend. And actually, when you find emotions quite difficult to handle, then maybe just tap and pick something out of the emotions jar, or pay a visit to it if you like, and just do something that looks to distract your attention. So they're my 6 top tips for today, and don't forget the mindful breathing as well. I'll be back on shortly this week, but in the meantime, I hope that helps, and stay safe and stay well. Bye for now.